Yeah, Waqt Se Pare Beyond Time is my collection of poetry which I've been writing for probably last 20-25 years. It was published last year in Pune, and now it's in its second print. We've done some songs from the, some poems from the book have been made into songs, and I'm also having an album. I'm not singing, I'm just the lyrics have been used, and so that is what right now it's all about. Anything that encompasses life. So social is there, it's a little bit political. As I said, I'm originally from Kashmir, so there is a reflection of my childhood in Kashmir. There's a reflection of that rootlessness that Kashmiri Pandits have gone through, and the trauma of leaving the home and staying away from Kashmir. So there's that, and there is a lot of my poetry is also geared towards probably women, empowering women, and lot of poetry is also for like it's romantic is also there, and for children. I do have some section for children as well. Waqt Se Pare, it's a very good question. Often being asked that. The Waqt Se Pare means like which cannot be bound by time, and beyond time basically. I felt that a lot of the topics that I had covered, or a lot of things that had touched me, and which had basically a lot of the words that had chosen me to be expressed through me, they were very they were not like time bound. And I also I'm a big fan of Gulzar Sahab. So there's a line in one of his songs, Waqt se pare agar fir mile kahin. So that I always felt, that kind of stayed with me for a long time, that how would probably he's talking about meeting of souls, beyond the structure of body, and something like that. So that kind of stayed with me. And I'm also a very big fan of Jagjit Singh ji. So he had an album long time ago called Beyond Time. So I felt that Waqt Se Pare is actually beyond time, kind of. Yes. Yeah, I think there is hardly anyone who has lived in Kashmir and has not been touched by that. So the pain of probably not the violence, but the pain of leaving, the consequence of the violence probably. The pain of leaving the home and being rootless. I always say that when I come to India, as I said, I'm based in Boston, but when I come to India, I always feel that when the plane is landing, I always have this feeling that there's no place to be called home. So that feeling is always there. So those are the consequences of violence that I have kind of in a very abstract way not addressed. I have talked about it because it has touched me. And even in Bangalore Literature Festival, I'll be reciting a poem tomorrow called, it's titled Aur Fir Ek Din, because I was recently stuck in floods as well. So we were rescued by the locals and army also, but mainly by the locals. So it gave me a very different perspective of Kashmir, because we were visiting Kashmir after 25 years. Everything, my perception, because our memory of Kashmir froze as of 1990. So there was a lot of that resentment somewhere in my heart, and but we still took the step to go back. And this trip was also for, I'm doing this short film called Pashmina, which is based in Kashmir. It's a short movie I'm doing for a production house based in Hollywood. So that was the main reason to go, and then my parents tagged along. We said, oh, let's go and see our house, which we could not because of the floods. But the kind of love and reception we got from the people there was amazing. This is all before floods. Then we got stuck in floods, and we were rescued by the locals, and we were stuck for 7 days. So I think probably Kashmiri Muslims as well as Pandits have realized that we've all come a long way. Things have changed. So there has been a gap of 25 years. So definitely my perception has totally changed. I'm very much, I think I'll make a trip every year now. Right. I think maybe that is true. And also this is very funny incident. What happened was that we were stuck in a truck. We were trying to go to be airlifted, and our truck got stuck near Dal Lake. So it was an army truck, but then locals came and rescued army truck and us also. So once when we were getting down, one of the army people told us that why don't you get into the other truck, and we somehow at that point decided let's just not hurry and stay back for a couple of days. So he said, are you a tourist or you a local? I have to tell you, I had no answer to that. I really didn't know who am I. So that as you said, because we left when we moved out of Kashmir, I'm talking about Kashmiri Pandits, so that feeling that I may not be able to go back home. If I wish that I can go to my old home. So a lot of people don't visit their old homes for 30 years, 40 years, but then there is nothing stopping them. If you feel like you want to go to Calcutta, there's no one telling you that you can't come here. So there was this feeling that maybe we are not allowed, maybe we cannot go back, maybe we are not safe there. So that feeling is what I always had, that feeling that there is no place called home. In this book, I have 3-4 poems like that, but I have written a lot after that, after this book has been published. This, as I said, this is in 2nd edition now, and now I have because of this this experience that I had recently in Kashmir, my writing has a little bit changed as well. It reflects the experiences that I had, and not just which I endured or which I kind of experienced directly, but as an observer also. You have an experience of an observer also. So hopefully more will come, but this has probably 3 to 4 poems. I think I will say what Gulzar Saab says, that I write in Hindustani. So it has a reflection of everything. I mean, I recently, one of the artists recorded one of the songs that I had written. It's addressed to Bulle Shah, and it's a Sufi Punjabi song, because a lot of my education happened in Jammu. So I can write little Punjabi also, and so Kashmiri, Punjabi, Hindi. I write Urdu, but it's written in Hindi script, so English as well. Yeah, one of the interesting things which I did, I always felt that when you open any book of poetry, the paper is not sometimes of good quality, and it feels like you're opening Xerox papers. So one of the intention was to create an experience. So what I did was that I mean, probably I can show it to you. I took a lot of the pictures which I had been taking over the years, and I tried to match it with the poems, and the idea was to create an experience. For example, there's this one of my poems is Chehre Ki Dukaan. So I was trying to look for a picture for that. I could not find anything which was appropriate for that, and I went to this show in Pune where Malika Sarabai's troupe was dancing, and I exactly found the kind of picture I wanted there. And I've also felt that a lot of children don't like poetry, to read poetry. So if this can kind of create an experience, or if the pictures can take them into poetry, that would be a great experience too. So that is something, no, I would not call it unique, but probably different. So this is People with Masks, and let me just open another one. Trying to, okay, hold on a second. Like I have this on Chambal, it's a very short one. So these are mostly 90% I have taken it, and if somebody else has, I've also some other pictures were taken by other friends. I felt they were more appropriate for these poems, so they were credited for that. Chehre Ki Dukaan, actually it was inspired. I was I saw this interview of Karan Johar when he had turned 40. And somebody asked him that what is so different about being 40, and he said that there is no, I don't pretend to be someone else. So that got me thinking. As our lives have become very busy, we do so many things nowadays. I feel that we have this, एक चेहरा पहन के आना. अभी कोई आ रहा है घर तो हाँ, even if you are not up to it, you wear this mask. Oh, now I have to pretend to be this, pretend to. So I felt that how would it be that somebody runs that business of selling faces, चेहरे की दुकान. So that is what the thought is in that.